Hey guys, so let's talk about financial abuse. A lot of people do not know that financial abuse is also a form of domestic violence. Yes, what is financial abuse? Financial abuse is that point in a relationship or in a union, a marriage, whereby a man or a woman deprives you of your certain need just because they want you to bow to their authority. It's like, I'm not going to pay your parents saying, I'm not going to pay your school fees. I'm not going to do this one. That's financial abuse. Now, in a marriage, two people have to come together to form a union. The man and the woman have become one. That is what is said to be. So they have to share everything. They have to do everything together. Whether the man is rich or the woman is rich, anybody can abuse anybody financially. It has nothing to do with gender. It is just supposed to be a case where two people become one and they have to share everything that they have. Now, this financial abuse actually happens more in Africa because in Africa here, they've given a lot of women the mindset that the men are supposed to do everything for them. The men are supposed to feed them. The men are supposed to clothe them. So you see so many women dependent on men. So many men actually love to marry hungry women. They like to marry women that do not have. They like to marry women that cannot do anything for themselves. Yes. Why? So that they can abuse them financially. Because when somebody abuses you financially, the person will deprive you. Sometimes your husband will say, okay, I will not do this. You have to go and beg because you need him to give you money for school fees. You need him to give you money for food. You need him to keep the family going because you're not doing anything. That's financial abuse, whereby somebody will have to deprive you to force you to, do what they want you to do instead of it to be willing. That is financial abuse. And it's also a form of domestic violence because if you look at so many relationship and so many marriage issues today, it's not just fights. You will see that the fight is connected to either money or sex. Those are the two major things that break marriage. Either sexual, sex is a silent, you know, um, disease that kills marriage. But finance is what a lot of people can talk about. They can come and tell you, my husband did not have money, my husband cannot provide because of our religion and our culture. So people don't necessarily come out to talk about sex again. So they hide under finance. And that's the reason why we always tell a lot of beautiful women, if you don't want to be abused financially, you have to find something to do for yourself. When a man tells you don't work, come and sit down and be eating money, be a libako, tell the man no, because that man is going to abuse you financially. It is just very normal with human nature. When you give human being power, they will actually want to use it to override you. It is natural and it's common with all of us. You know why? Because we are not God. It is only God that has the power to life, and he gives it to you for free. Yet you don't even worship him. Yet we commit sin every day, and he has not even struck us with thunder. But for human being, the moment you give a human being power, both me and you, everybody will want to use it, to their own benefit. Now, there's something we need to understand now. I like to teach a lot of people emotional intelligence. There are some certain things that are just natural. There are some certain things that are just human nature. And before you want to go into a relationship or you want to go into a marriage, you first of all need to understand human nature. Sometimes it's not somebody being wicked to you. It's not somebody being mean to you. It's just human nature occurring. When you understand human nature, you would know how to follow some certain things when it starts to happen. You will know how to follow your husband. You will know how to follow your wife. But when you don't understand human nature, that's where you get to start putting yourself in a position whereby you are fighting, you are breaking bottle, you are doing doors. You need to understand that in human nature, they will disappoint you. In human nature, they will deprive you. In fact, the reason why a lot of people want to get power is so that they can oppress the next person, so that they can play God over the next person's life. That's the truth. That's why people want to get power. The reason why a lot of men want to be so rich and they don't want their wives to work is because they want to be playing God over the woman. Not because they necessarily love you. So that anytime you offend them, they will collect the car key. Anytime you offend them, they throw you out of the house, you start to beg. Because a lot of marriages, a lot of women are living in the mercy of men in Africa, in quotes. And when you travel out of the country, a lot of men are living in mercy in women, because outside the country, in some countries outside Nigeria and outside Africa, women actually have power. The governments are giving women authority. So the same thing that happens in Nigeria or in Africa is the same thing that happens abroad. The fact is, this power intoxicates both men and women. It has nothing to do with gender. It has nothing to do with a man or a woman. It's all of us. Once you give us power, even a woman, in fact, women will do worse than men if they are given the financial backup that men have. And that was the reason why it looks as if in those days in Africa, our marriage lasted, our mothers stayed, because our fathers abused our mothers financially. That's the truth. Our mothers had no choice than to be stuck in the marriage because they don't have anywhere to go to. Our fathers had to train those plenty children that they gave birth in school. So they had no choice, they are stuck. The reason why it looks as if marriage these days is not working, everybody can walk away, is because a lot of women have started working, a lot of men have started working. So even if it's not working, I can just walk away and take care of my children and take care of myself. And because the world is evolving, I'm going to urge you as a woman or as a man to please also find something doing so that people do not abuse you financially. That is the essence of working. You don't have to be super duper rich or be wealthy, but be able to afford at least the necessary need, be able to feed yourself, even if it's not 3 square meal, 2 square meals. Do you understand? Because when the human nature begins to occur, you can be able to find your way, because human nature will always occur. There's always a misunderstanding. And when there is a misunderstanding, the man is not going to provide the way he used to provide, because he's going to be keeping you quiet. The communication gap would have broken. So you might not even want to ask him some certain things you would have asked him on a normal day if the relationship was going on well, if the marriage was going on well. So that is the point where you need your financial independence. Because when you're not financially stable, you can't even have a conversation with your spouse. You can't even talk to your husband because you'll be scared. Because you don't know what you are going to say now that's going to offend him. He will not give you money. But in relationship and marriage, you are supposed to talk, whether the person is giving you money or the person is not giving you money, because it's only when you talk that it will work. Misunderstanding simply means we are not communicating. I don't know where you are coming from. And when somebody is financially abusing you, it simply means you are not yourself. You are in prison. Exactly. Because you cannot talk. You are afraid to speak. Because I don't know whether you speak. You collect the khaki. You won't buy me a birthday gift next month. So, and that's what happens in Africa with a lot of beautiful young ladies. And that's the reason why I decided to enlighten you. You are not working because your husband cannot provide for you, or your boyfriend cannot provide for you, or your boyfriend is not rich. You're working because you want to empower yourself so that you're not going to be abused financially. And like I used to say in most of my videos, I'm a very factual person. In this society where we are right now, like I used to say, I used to tell you guys, I'm the number one relationship in Africa because I have studied the African setting and I understand how the common African thinks. That's the reason why I love being factual. Until you travel out of Africa, a lot of things can change. A lot of my advices can change. But I majorly based on the African women because we already have this African mentality. It is very difficult for us to take it out. Even those women who have traveled abroad, it took them time before they had to drop their African mentality and began to start to think in a very vast way. So if you're an African woman, this is actually for you. Financial abuse is one of the most common things a lot of men use to abuse you women in Africa. Because in Africa, the man is the god. He's supposed to provide and yada, 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 and all the stuff. But as a woman, you need to empower yourself financially. Because even in this space called Africa, we don't have laws. If there's a misunderstanding today, you will want your child, you will train the child. There is no law that is actually going to force a man to train a child that he doesn't want to train. It's only outside the country, America, that have that law, to give child support. Here, there's nothing like child support. You go court, you go tire. This is the reality. So sometimes this financial independence is for the children you're bringing into this world, because at the end of the day, you cannot sit down as a mother and be watching your children suffer. A man will move on very easily because most times women go with the kids, so they don't have so much things to distract them. It's so easy for them to find another girl, another woman, and get married. But as a woman, you're packing your children anywhere you're going to. That's the truth. So as a woman, I will urge you, you're not working because the man cannot give you money or he cannot provide for you. That job, that independence is your own power. It's not for a man. I used to say it, your man's money is your plan A, your money is your plan B. Peradventure, the man decides to mess up someday, you can bounce. You can take a walk. You can give yourself space. You can allow him and stop subjecting yourself and insulting yourself and abusing yourself and disgracing the female gender because of money. Every time you be crawling, you be begging. The man is not treating you right, but you're always crawling and begging because he abuses you financially, because he's taking care of your family members. He's paying your school fees. So you cannot imagine losing your school fees. Get something doing. The world has evolved. In fact, the world are even giving women more chances than men these days. That's why if you look around you, a lot of women are even more financially stable than men. These days, Now we they feed men. Now we they help men stand. That's the truth about it. So as a woman, this video is just to tell you how powerful you are. If you're not doing anything, please find something and start to do, because the easiest way a man can abuse you is financially. He starts by telling you, baby, I don't want you to work. You know I love you. I don't want you to stress yourself. I don't want you to go under the sun, my darling, go under the sun. There is time for everything. There is time to work. There is time to slay. There is time to everything. So tell the man I want to work. If you don't want me to suffer, just put air condition everywhere I'm going. Buy me air condition car. Put me in an air condition office. Air condition everywhere. There's still so many ways to make a woman that is working comfortable than keeping her in the house. An idle man is a devil's workshop. So when a man wants to keep you in the house and tell you, I don't want you to work, I don't want you to be comfortable, that is the beginning of depression. Because the more you are idle, you don't even know how important you are. Let me tell you something. What keeps you going as a human being is the fact that you understand that you can impact life. That's the reason why we're looking for jobs. The fact that you know that I can come here every morning and somebody is looking for me. Somebody will come to my shop. Somebody will come to make inquiry. I'm working in the bank. I'm working in different places. It just makes you feel important. But when you're stuck in the house and it's just to be cooking for a man, doing this thing for a man, when there's a misunderstanding and the man does not want to eat your food, that is where depression starts from. That's where suicide starts from. When there's a misunderstanding and the man leaves the house, so that person that you are serving is no longer there. You're not supposed to serve one person. You did not come to this world to come and serve one man. You came to this world to touch lives. That's the reason why when you are serving the public is even more interesting, because you meet different type of people. You communicate, you understand your power, you unlearn, you relearn. That's the beauty about life. The moment you are stuck in one place, somebody keeps you in the house to be a housewife, you're a prisoner. There's no difference between you and those that are in prison, those that are in kirikiri. Yes, because the difference between prison and reality is freedom. Freedom to go out, freedom to meet people, freedom to do what I want to do, freedom to say what I want to say. When you're in prison, you are stuck in a place. It doesn't mean that prison is not comfortable. There's some certain level of comfort you have in prison. Yes, the only difference about being a prisoner is that you are stuck in a place for a particular time. I can imagine how you have freedom and someone puts you in a place without you even committing a crime. So please, I am going to tell a lot of beautiful women out there, please change that mindset that it has to be a man that will be giving you, giving you, giving you, giving you. That is financial abuse. And it is from financial abuse that physical abuse starts, domestic violence. Because when a man abuses you financially, sometimes you want to challenge him, sometimes you want to talk to him. Sometimes you, out of anger, you want to verbally say one or two things that causes physical abuse, for the man to start to beat you or raise his hand on you. So to avoid all those drama, please, women, empowering yourself and doing something is not for a man. It doesn't mean a man will not give you money, but it is for yourself. That is your plan B. I thought I should enlighten a lot of beautiful women, especially those in Africa, that this is the reason why you need to work. You are not working because your husband doesn't have money or you're not from a rich family. You're working because you want to empower yourself and you don't want people to abuse you financially. And even if this financial abuse come, this is what can hold you until your husband come around, because all of us, we get scared, score for head. So when that's your husband's score come, when you're financially buoyant and you can take care of yourself, you can manage that marriage until he comes around. Because sometimes what makes us break up in this marriage is the fact that we are not empowered, so we don't have patience. When you don't have empowerment, you will lack patience, because you always be in a hurry to do something. But when you have money of your own and there's a misunderstanding, you can give the man space for a while. He can give you space for a while until you guys come around and say, okay, let's talk about this. But when you don't have money, you won't fight for everything. You won't beat every girl. You'll be constituting nuisance in the society. So that's what I want to tell that beautiful woman today. Get something doing. The world is waiting for you to patronize you, to see what you have to offer. And that is why God created you. He created you to come and touch lives. He gave you something beautiful to come and share it. You are not supposed to die with your gift. If you die with your gift, it's a sin, and you're going to go to hellfire. So bring out that gift. The world is waiting to share it with you. Remember, I love you so very much. And my name is Romenzo Koro Blessing in Kiruka, popularly known as Blessing CEO, number one most controversial certified relationship and mental expert. Don't forget, we have an office right here in Lagos State. You can call the number 070-195-11795 for therapy. Everything you tell us remains in our closet. Trust me, you can trust us. I love you so very much, guys. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Till I come your way next time, it's still Blessing CEO.